Wow, look at that breakfast somebody made for me this morning. Woohoo! I like a man that can cook in the kitchen.
Good breakfast.
Someone is making good use of a perfectly clean bed. Yep, it's been one of those kinds of Sundays here. Extra laundry, extra vacuuming, extra cat water bowl cleaning, you name it. I've been cleaning it today. This is some sort of an energy video. And I'm giving Don the afternoon off because he's worked really hard on our adventures this week, doing a lot of driving, and we probably have a few more adventures this week too, so.
Coming week, yeah.
Yep. I'm disappointed to report that the weatherman has revised the temperature forecast this week. About 5 days ago, we were going to be in the 80s this week, and now we're going to be solidly in the 90s. Dawn said it wasn't supposed to feel too humid today. I'm gonna say that it feels pretty humid out there to me. Yep. The house thermometer said 88 degrees, but I think it feels more like 95 out there. Good afternoon, Ruby. I'm turned around in the opposite direction from the way I normally film today. Here at the Fuquay-Varina Community Center. I just took down the gym, put all 4 of our accounts in, spun the first Pokestop of the day, caught a Pokemon, and now I'm working on the daily field research. Just sitting here in the cool car with the air conditioning going, resting for a few minutes because I was working too hard at the house. Nobody's fault but my own, though. Even though the sun's temporarily behind a cloud, it's hot out there. Ruby says it's 90. And the guys aren't playing basketball right now. But you know what? I bet they'll be out playing on the court this evening. There's very few times I come past here and somebody's not playing. I wanted to try something new with the Insta360 camera and this mural, but the suction cup mount I have for the GoPro, I need this one little adapter piece to make it work with a regular camera tripod mount. So I ordered the piece and it'll be here Tuesday, and then we'll get back over here to try it. Besides playing Pokemon and playing around with my various cameras, I also needed some cat food and a couple of other items from Walmart. So I am getting my afternoon walk now. I'll be happy to be in the store. It's just too hot out here on top of the asphalt. It looks like almost every plant they have left is on clearance now. Like this really nice Abelia, $6.84. They've got all the statuary on clearance too. You know, here in the day, I mean, goodness, this really nice angel's only $35. You know, it'll be time for Halloween and Christmas here any day. Gotta make room. I had not seen that quote-unquote Jeep before. That is really cool for a little girl. Okay, Fuquay Walmart, where are the new Hot Wheels? There's no Matchbox either. Well, this is the only autumn thing I saw today. Yum. But no. So the deer have been coming up back here and scraping the moss out of the ground. We wish they wouldn't do that. And Tux is quite pleased that he has some more dirt spots to lay in and mulch to nail and scrape and scratch, and yeah. Hey buddy, you got mosquitoes around you. It's not safe out here for Mama. Hey bud. Come here. Hey buddy. Hi. Aww. I'm gonna fix that WD-40. It's getting fixed. That hinge and this hinge, they fixing to get sprayed. It is kind of hard when they're nice and tight to actually get the WD-40 down into the hinge. It's a little easier if the bottom has been pushed up a little bit, but still. I already did all the ones inside the house. I'm gonna wipe that up. I bet it is much better sounding now. Let's see. No. Well, I didn't do the bottom one, and I didn't do it from the inside. Let's try some more. All fixed. Listen now. Y'all don't know what to do on the videos without that garage door squeaking. I did all three here, front and back. Yay, no more squeak. Do have a rag handy in case you need to pick up a little drip. Hi, sweet girl. Hi. Hi, Gray. Hi, Gray. Hi, honey. Hi, honey. Good girl. Good girl. It's burger night.
Okay, so it's been a while, but we've been doing a little work now that we've had Ruby full 2 years, and we've also have a full 24 months of our Duke Progress energy bills. So this current month for the period June 22nd through July 25th was a total of $265.86. And if you look at the little chart, it's a little hard to see that we used approximately just a scooch more energy this July than we did the prior July. Specifically, last July, it looks like we used just a little over 21, maybe 2,200 kilowatt hours. This year, we used 2,540 kilowatt hours this month. However, there's 33 days in this period, and the average was 77 kilowatt hours. So that's actually, I would say, slightly down from prior months. And as usual, our bill is broken into three rate tiers. We have the on-peak kilowatt hours, which is 23.955 cents per kilowatt hour, and we use 233 kilowatt hours on peak, and that costs $55.81. The off peak, which is when we charge Ruby, that rate is 7.511 cents, and we use 2,123 kilowatt hours, and that's $159.45. The shoulder time is 12.444 cents per kilowatt hour. We used 184 kilowatt hours shoulder for a total of $22.89. So altogether, this month, using time of use over the flat rate residential, Duke says that we saved $33.14. And so far, over the rolling last 12 months, we've saved $473.27. And I have another chart coming up that's going to show you a little bit more detail there. So what started us off is Marianne asked me if we were really saving or still saving money with the time of use rate program versus the flat rate. So I put a chart going back since the inception of our time of use, showing the rates of the peak, off-peak, and shoulder. This is the actual rate per kilowatt hour. And when we started back in June of 2017, which is actually July was really the first full month, the peak rate was 22.955 cents per kilowatt hour. And as you can see, over from 17 to 18 and now 2019, it's went up a full cent. So we are now paying 23.955 cents per kilowatt hour on peak. Really, though, the big change has been in the off-peak rate. And that's the one where we use the bulk of our electricity because that's when we charge Ruby. So when we first started, we were paying 6.211 cents per kilowatt hour off peak. But now in 2019, it's all the way up to 7.511, which is a 1.3 cent per kilowatt hour increase. So as a percentage of, it's actually pretty high, like 15% increase over that amount of time. And the shoulder hasn't been too bad. It's up 1.2 11.2 cents per kilowatt hour from 2017, where it was 11.236 cents. And now here in 2019, it's 12.444 cents per kilowatt hour. I put together a little table showing the 2 years, year one and year two of our electricity costs and usage since we've had Ruby now. And the first thing, which was the original question Marianne asked me, is how much money did we save by switching to time of use over the flat rate? And I went through each of the bills during that period. And for the first year, which was basically July of 2017 through the end of June of 2018, we used or saved $457.24. And then that same period in 2018 through 2019 was $475.27. So the difference is only $18. So from one year to the next, we saved about $18 more time of use. The electricity cost for those time periods, the total cost, in other words, what we actually paid Duke Energy, was $232 in the first year, and $2,300.
You wish it was 200.
Yeah, thank you. I'm dreaming, right? $2,332 the first year, and $2,443 the second year. The difference from year to year, which I was quite surprised, was only $111. The kilowatt also, however, we actually used more kilowatt hours that first year. We used a total of 28,957 kilowatt hours. And then the year two, we only used 28,290 kilowatt hours, which is 667 fewer kilowatt hours one year to the next. However, and the daily kilowatt hour average, in other words, if you took the total number of kilowatt hours we used for the year, divided it by 365, the daily average for the first year was 79.3 kilowatt hours, and the second year was 77.5 kilowatt hours. So we used 1.8 kilowatt hours less per day on average. And probably the best way to think about it, because people ask us how much our electricity bill is, and I always tell them, oh, it averages about $200 a month. So now I actually have the numbers. If you take the 2,332 divided by 12, it comes up to be $194.36 for the first year. And then the $2,443 divided by 12 is $203.65. So when I say around $200 a month is what our average electricity bill is, that number is actually accurate. And over the 2-year period, our bill has the average increase per month has gone up $9.29, and that's the impact of that 1 cent per kilowatt hour peak, and also the 1.3 and the 1.2 cents per kilowatt increase on the off peak and shoulder.
So when Don's talking peak, off-peak, and shoulder, and how much those cost, those relate back to hours during the day where those rates are applied, which means that we try to only charge the car, run the dryer, and run the dishwasher, and a few other things only during off-peak when possible. Now, the summer and winter, those hours that you get those different rates, they change. And Don has put these handy charts on the wall in our laundry room. So if me, him, or Johnny gets confused, we could just go look at the chart. They work really well. The summer time of use works a little better for me because you see a lot of green there in the morning chart from midnight until noon. So if I get up at 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. or 9 a.m., I got a lot of time to do a load of laundry and dry it. I just have to be done with those morning chores by 11 a.m. Okay. So I like the flexibility of being able to get up in the morning and go. Don says I'm a morning person and I like to get a lot of stuff done in the morning. Now you'll notice the afternoon or the noon to midnight chart doesn't have a lot of green on it. And that's because in the summertime, the power companies want a lot of electricity in the afternoon because it's hot and people are running their air conditioners, okay? So this time of year really has a lot to do with when people are trying to cool in the summer and heat in the winter. You can see that from 12 to 1 p.m. in yellow there is the shoulder time. So if I'm running a little late with my chores, I could probably finish them up between 12 and 1 in the middle rate. But between 1 and 6 p.m., we really try not to do anything but have the TV going, a few lights on in the house. Do we just, whatever things we're normally charging or normally plugged in, our vampire drain is there, but we never ever do a load of dry a load of clothes, run the dishwasher, God forbid charge Ruby. We just don't do any of that between 1 and 6 p.m. in the summer. So if I can hold off, and normally that works with our schedule on cooking dinner until after 6 p.m., that's a plus. I would say that one of the things we haven't tried to alter too much is when I cook. I just cook if Johnny and I are headed to Taekwondo when I need to cook. But I think a little bit about, oh, yeah, it's after 6 p.m. That's better than, say, 5:45 p.m. unless we've got to be someplace. Then from 6 to 8 p.m., we go back on shoulder. That doesn't help us a lot. We don't do a lot during that time normally except for watch TV. And of course, the air conditioner is running as needed. We never turn it off just to save power. We keep the house at 76, 78 degrees?
75.
75. Not particularly cool, but not hot either.
Yep.
And then at 8:05 p.m. at night, Ruby clicks on and starts charging. Dawn gets up and we get the cat dishes and we load the dishwasher. We start the dishwasher. Johnny and I take showers. We get the laundry going. And then before we go to bed, we get the dryer going. So we probably burn almost, I would just guess, 80% of our electricity between 8 p.m. and midnight. You can see the off-peak number is what Don showed you on the bill is really the bulk of our usage. And the bulk of that is in the summer and really in the winter too is between in that 8 p.m. and midnight time frame. I'm going to show you the equivalent winter time of use graphs now, starting with the morning one. We get up at 5:30 during the school year. And as you can see on this first graph here, from midnight to 6 a.m., we're on off-peak. So that gives us 30-minute window when we get up to use all the electricity we want to before we get thrown into peak right away there. So a couple things that means we have to finesse a little bit more in the wintertime than the summer. One, we need to make sure Ruby never charges after 6 a.m. On the few times where I may have made 3 trips in and out of Raleigh during the day, she may not be done charging by 6 a.m. And Dawn is using Tesla Fi to help us make sure she never goes past 5:59 a.m. Also, we don't want heat strips coming on for our heat pump after 6 a.m. Dawn tries to get the house from the nighttime temperature to a reasonable temperature for me and Johnny between 5:30 and 6. And then he cuts off the heat until we go back on shoulder at 9 a.m. So we are not using the heat pump between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. We don't want to be using it during the peak. Yeah, Dawn just really dials down the temperature. So 65, 64?
Yeah, 65.
Yeah, the house won't get colder than 65, but if we've got it cranked up to
69,
70 degrees, it stays reasonably comfortable. I often don't get back in until 9 in the morning from dropping Johnny off at school. So we don't cook breakfast. We really, that 3 hours in the morning, we don't do a lot. And that's because in the winter it's cold and everyone is trying to heat their house. So that's why 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. is peak for the utility company. We do cook breakfast for me and Dawn on the shoulder between 9 and 12 and watch TV, but not much else. And we're not too active typically during the evening up until between 9 and noon. We don't do too much. Let me show you the afternoon evening chart now. So the afternoon winter time of use here is pretty wide open. I can do mostly what I want to between noon and midnight. There is that shoulder where people are coming home from work, cooking dinner, that the utility company puts us on the shoulder between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. But, you know, there's not a whole lot I can do about needing to cook during that 3-hour window sometime. I'm pretty much always going to be cooking dinner during that time. But 8 p.m. there in the evening, that's where we, 8:05, kick off Ruby, kick off the washer, kick off the dishwasher. So the evening routine stays the same pretty much for us between winter and summer because of, cooking is the one activity that I don't move around. And we have everything as far as household daily chores that require electricity already done after 8 p.m. And that's pretty flexible for us. But we are doing a couple of things that we have to make a plan to do for that 3-hour window in the morning when it is the peak time in the winter.